Hello and welcome back to the church called Jonah. This is the 14th of 31 devotions where we are comparing Jonah the prophet with the church of today. And today's devotion is called The Decisive Question. And it's based on Jonah chapter 1 verse 11, which says, "Then they said to him, 'What shall we do to you that the sea may be calm for us?' For the sea was growing more tempestuous." In our last devotion, we looked at the question the sailors asked Jonah, "What have you done?" Even before he could answer that question, they threw another question to him. And this time, if you take note of the three pronouns there, it begins by saying, "What shall we do to you that the sea may become calm for us?" It looks like they were more concerned about themselves than they were for anybody else. Leastways Jonah, because he was the cause for this tempest. We know he was the cause because when they drew lots to find out who the person was behind the tempest, the lot fell to him. He also confessed that he was the one who was running away from God's call on his life. Instead of going to Nineveh, he was going to Tarshish. So now they want to know what they should do to him so that they could have a calm sea and go about their business and go on to Tarshish where they were headed. One can't imagine what thoughts are going through Jonah's mind at this time. They are throwing the question to him. What shall we do to you? You tell us. You give us an answer. As we compare Jonah with the church of today, we are living in a time when things are getting very chaotic. And maybe the world is not directly asking us that question, what shall we do to you for all the chaos that exists in the world? But I think that's a question we can ask ourselves. If we're honest with ourselves, we will know that if every believer took on the responsibility to go and make disciples of all nations would have been discipled by now. So if all nations are not discipled, all nations are in turmoil. We have the church in almost all nations, so we have God's people in all nations, but we also have chaos existing in all nations too. And if there's chaos, the fact of the matter is that we have not been the salt, we have not been the light, perhaps. And that's why there's that chaos. Have we, by neglecting our responsibility, been the cause for the chaos around us? You see, persecution, Jesus said, would come to everyone who believes in him. On the way to the cross, he said, if they've done this to the green tree, meaning if they're doing this to me, what more won't they do to the dry, meaning to you, the church? Persecution will come, but the reasons for the persecution could be varied. Sometimes people are envious that things are going well for God's people. Sometimes that envy turns to hatred and then eventually persecution. Sometimes, sadly, when the world looks at the church, they're asking the question, why are you not reflecting the character of the God you profess to believe in? Maybe our values, our priorities, our behavior is in stark contrast to the message we're giving the world, saying that God is holy, God is loving, God is kind. And maybe we are anything but that. And that's upsetting the world, causing them to question our belief, causing them to question our lives. And of course, sometimes persecution can come because what we are preaching or what we are teaching is in stark contrast to the lifestyle of the people around us. The Bible teaches morals, ethics, values, priorities. It teaches us a different lifestyle that goes against the flesh, that's being led by the Spirit. And maybe sometimes people don't like that and therefore they persecute us. And that can happen right in families, that can happen in neighborhoods, that can happen in cities, that can happen across the globe. But at the end of the day, let's remember that persecution is going to come. Jesus foretold it. And the more the persecution, the stronger our faith becomes. So the question they're asking him is, what shall we do to you? And it goes on to say, for the sea was growing more tempestuous. If you look at the news today, you find every day there's something new happening across the globe, somewhere in the world. More chaos, more confusion, more conflict, more calamities, more tragedies. It's only increasing. It's not because only bad news is being portrayed in the newspapers or on the news channels. The fact is, things are getting worse. And people are beginning to ask questions pertaining to why, questions pertaining to who's responsible for this. And I think let's us, the church, ask ourselves this question: what have we done or not done directly or indirectly, that's responsible for the chaos in our world around us. Because if we don't ask that question, the world's going to ask us that question very soon. Let's do all we can to be the Christians we're supposed to be the disciples of Jesus that He called us to be, to live out our faith, to share our faith, to share our love, to share our faith in love. We're not here doing a duty. We are here to ensure that people's souls get saved from a lost eternity. Let's keep that perspective in mind. We're not here merely fulfilling some commission. We are fulfilling the commission because we love people the way our Master loved the world when He came to give His life for us, to die and rise again for us. So let's do what we do with love. Let's not turn people away by the way we do what we do also. And let's never neglect our responsibility. It's every one of us responsibility, not just a select few. Every one of us was called to take this gospel to the world, to go and make disciples of all nations. Let's do that intentionally while we have time. Time is running out. We don't have much time. Let's make best use of every opportunity to live out our gospel, to live out the gospel we share, to practice all that we are preaching, to demonstrate the love we profess, to live in unity so that the world around us will see our lives and will not question us, but rather would want to come to know the God we believe in. If you are blessed by today's devotion, I request you to kindly share it with somebody else so that they are blessed as well. And if you'd like to be intimated of our upcoming videos, please subscribe to the channel, The Life Transforming Word. God bless you and have a good day or night.